looks brilliant, give me more of this. I'm out of control, about to blow, and I've been caught in the undertow. So toxic but I can't get enough. You bury me, bury me. Yeah, you bury me, bury me. You've got me hypnotized, push me out of myself. You've got me hypnotized. I can see, I can hear, going crazy by the light. It's got me hypnotized. You've got me hypnotized. And get you out of my hand again. Is it wrong? Is it right? It's like I've won my final war without a fight. I'm out of control, about to blow, and I've been caught in the undertow. So toxic but I can't get enough. You bury me, bury me. I know you bury me, bury me. You've got me hypnotized, push me out of myself. You've got me hypnotized. I can see, I can hear, going crazy by the light. It's got me hypnotized. You've got me hypnotized. Get you out of my head, get you out of my head. Hurricane, a tidal wave. Essence perfect, life looks brilliant, give me more of this. I'm out of control, about to blow, and I've been caught in the undertow. So toxic but I can't get enough. You bury me, bury me. Yeah, you bury me, bury me. You've got me hypnotized, push me out of myself. You've got me hypnotized. I can see, I can hear, going crazy by the light. It's got me hypnotized. You've got me hypnotized. And get you out of my hand again. Is it wrong? Is it right? It's like I've won my final war without a fight. I'm out of control, about to blow, and I've been caught in the undertow. So toxic but I can't get enough. You bury me, bury me. I know you bury me, bury me. You've got me hypnotized, push me out of myself. You've got me hypnotized. I can see, I can hear, going crazy by the light. It's got me hypnotized. You've got me hypnotized. And get you out of my head, get you out of my head again.
Please note.
Never gonna stop, never gonna change, never gonna do the things you say. I run my own way to get there. Pulls a coin in the eye, seem to care. In the air, no more crowd, just the opposite kind of few clouds. So tell me the storm is coming, for the sake of all your lies. Why don't you try to be wise? Now that I need you, why? Just to feel like I'm fading. And though my heart breaks a beat down, I cross the lens just to tell you. Don't leave the way, don't leave the side. Then I go with
to hid away, left me here, unable to find my way. Who killed the plan? Again, I set my sights so high, I dreamed of skies so bright, but life is a changing tide. Let's face it, embrace it, nothing happens the way I planned it. Unexpected arises, I'll give it up, baby.
Hello, and welcome to the Honor Ramble. I'm pressing the right buttons today. I'm your host, Auntie Collins. We got Kyle. Do you like being called Kyle K. Sparks or just Kyle Sparks?
I usually don't use the K other than my actual handles.
All right, Kyle Sparks. And then we also have Melball Collins featuring Papo. My gosh, we got a four panel team over here.
He definitely slept through the show, though.
Oh,
Definitely. His opinions might not be good.
Yeah. Okay, Auntie, did you hear today's big news? The news that I heard today was that Layla Hirsch's contract was not being renewed, and it expires tomorrow. That does not make me happy at all. I don't like that, because what have we been doing? Some of my favorite Layla Hirsch matches have been in Ring of Honor, and I'm over here going, use her. She's healthy. That Diamante feud did not go long enough. So what are we doing here? I don't know. Is that what you're talking about? Auntie's Martini, please respond.
I definitely was a little disappointed to see that, because it definitely gave me vibes that she might be doing something with Velvet again.
That's
And I
right.
was like, oh, like, why was these companies building people up and then the next week letting them go? Seems very odd.
Yeah.
I get that it's WrestleMania season, so cuts are gonna happen, but it's odd. It's an odd way to do business.
So I missed OLE having trivia.
Oh yeah.
Apparently, Auntie's Martini is the trivia champion.
Oh,
If I had a applause for you, I'm
we need a
cheersing you
soundboard
right now. Yeah, I do. I need one like my co-host on Saturdays, Jose on the air. But
I think a friend of mine
the happiest
might have
image
one.
we
I'll
have
see
is
if
Tony
we'd be
Nese,
able
isn't
to- He and his corn cob abs.
yeah, that's all I got. Saying hello to our friend Bobby at the start of the show, our overlord. You're wearing your title right now. I hope you're only wearing your title, because that's like to spice up things around here. Come on.
SOLE After Dark.
Yeah. Supercard of Honor season. Oh man. Why you gotta hit us with that in the beginning? What did y'all think of this show? This was a mix. I was unsure, because I feel like my attitude is just bad right now. Like, it's just, my attitude about old wrestling is just. But
I mean, I feel that.
what did y'all think of all the lucha going on during this episode?
It was a perfectly fun show. It didn't really advance anything to speak of, but it was fun. It was fun wrestling, and sometimes that's okay to just be fun.
Jeremy over here saying Billy gets on Dynamite before Athena. Gotta be the start to get Mercedes versus Athena. That's what I tweeted yesterday. I said, how else? How else are we going to get to Mercedes versus Athena at All In? Because you know that that's going to be what that is. But I thought it was going to be for the TBS title, because Athena wouldn't have a title.
Oh, So dumb question. Was that in the first? That was on Dynamite last night? Billy was on.
Mm-hmm.
I missed the
Yeah,
first
but-
half of the show. I was watching Michigan State
Oh.
basketball, and then I was putting my son to bed. So
Other sports before
other
wrestling?
sports. Other sports.
Yes. So
They exist.
Billy Starks had a confrontation with Mercedes, got her coffee spilled on her by Mercedes, and it was a perfect opportunity for Momo to come in and scare the piss out of Mercedes, and had to pick up the title that she dropped, which was casually the TBS title.
Well,
So,
as WWE proved to us decades ago with Chris Jericho and Kane, coffee being spilled on someone is a perfectly reasonable thing to start a feud about.
listen, I will fight anyone who, if it's my first cup of coffee, second cup of coffee, third cup of coffee, you spill it on me, we're throwing hams.
Oh.
Let me at him. Let me at him.
Considering the tirade that Hate has been on in Stardom, I mean, perfect way to segue in. They've been really up in the violence lately. They've become like the sensible house of torture in Stardom, if you will, where they're actually functional, but they're shenanigans, and it's not annoying and obnoxious.
Functional house of torture does not sound correct.
Right, those words are not words that belong in the same sentence together at all, but they make sense. Maybe the Team 2000X in Noah would be the better comparison. But
Interessante.
I'm hopeful that given this is the second title attempt that Momo has against Mercedes, that we could see her picking up a win. But considering it is for a title and not a New Japan or Stardom title, it's not looking good.
Yeah, well, we'll see. But speaking of new faces, this show had a bunch of new faces, people from CMLL, because guess what? This Ring of Honor show is from Texas. It's pretty easy to call up your friends at CMLL, get them on over there, and have a great show. I'm excited to talk about Lucha because, I like Lucha because it's something new, something different. However, my only gripe is that we are weeks away from possibly a pay-per-view, maybe, question mark. Hasn't been announced yet, but they certainly have announced AW Dynasty. Certainly announced a show in April already.
Tony's entire focus is on Revolution right now, and I get the impression that anything that does come of Supercard of Honor is going to come after that, and it's going to be put together in the usual slapdash 2.5 week format, and the wrestling on the show itself will still be amazing because that is what the track record has literally always been during Tony's ownership of Ring of Honor. The pay-per-view matches have always wildly over-delivered, but the builds have always been substandard at best.
But the women, the women, they clean the house with storyline and everything. That's what I'm always looking forward to. But come on, give me somebody dethrone Chris Jericho right now. Because remember, Chris Jericho is the Ring of Honor champion. Did you all catch the Collision episode?
Shane Taylor, please.
Shane Taylor. Did y'all catch Sweet Baby Bandito versus Chris Jericho on Collision?
I did, and it was very good. I don't know. I don't think anybody really expected Bandito to win.
Right.
It would have been nice if it was on, I don't know, this show.
It would be nice if the home title could be, I don't know, defended at home. That would be, and still, like, even like looking at this thing, I was like, oh, there were no champions on here. But then I was like, yes, there was. Commander might not have been working, but he was still in the crowd. Still a better job than Jericho. Disappointing.
Disappointing. See, that's my only gripe about this episode before we jump into it, is that our storylines are a little bit convoluted and they don't make sense, especially with the Outrunners, who have been, I thought that they were going to face the tag champs for Ring of Honor. I guess not, because now they're busy with the Hurt business.
They're over and popular, therefore they're too big for Ring of Honor now, regardless of anything else that you've said or done to this point.
By the way, every time that you go into your mic, it reminds me of the Wizard of Oz, and it's like, don't pay attention to the man behind the curtain.
To be fair, not paying attention to me is generally a good strategy.
No, never.
You're in here with the stats.
You don't even get monthly pay-per-views or special events, so the least they could do is keep the ROH titles on Ring of Honor television. Absolutely.
Oh. I don't understand what the purpose. Like, I get that, Chris Jericho and thinks he needs a thing. It's just like, oh.
If we are casting the Wizard of Oz, who are you going to be? Which character are you going to be?
Honestly, I read that as the Wonderful Wizard of Olay, and I thought of El Generico as the wizard.
Could you imagine a giant floating lucha mask? That's wizard.
We don't need to go any further. That is beautiful.
I'm gonna double check and make sure that's not gonna show up in the second half of Wicked next November.
Oh, well, everyone put in the chat who you would be if you were cast in the Ring of Oz.
Is that like a hash-up of Lord of the Rings and the Wizard of Oz?
Yeah. Ring of Honor, Lord of the Rings, everyone gets a ring. Olay. Well, we do start episode 105 of Ring of Honor on Honor Club in the AEW era. And we're continuing to spotlight CMLL. Our first contest, our opening contest, a fun little match. We have Euphoria, Gran Guerrero, and Rocky Romero versus Atlanta Senior. I'm so sorry if I Esfinge and Fuego. This is a bunch of old guys. Here's my thing. I don't know how the Lucha guys do it, because they can wrestle until they are 80 and 90 freaking years old, and they look just as good as when they did in their 20s and 30s.
Yeah.
If not just beefier, a little bit slower, but
yeah.
These gentlemen can go. Atlantis Senior is 62 freaking years old.
Oh my God, I didn't know he was that old.
He's 62.
And then there's Tanahashi, who's like, 43, 44, and he can barely walk.
I'm over here. I'm 36, and I have a torn hip flexor over here. So I'm walking. No. I've been walking with a limp. The only thing that I can do is like ice and rest and stretch and all the things, right? And they also suggested a cane for long distances. But yeah, I tore my little hip flexor falling on the stairs in the ice 2 weeks ago. Yeah.
No.
But here Atlanta Senior is 62 years old.
He's just
He's just
giving out
going.
tilt-a-whirl backbreakers to everybody.
Listen,
Like,
Jose, I just talked about you. And here you are.
what are Disney knees?
I turned 30 in June and I can't even do the Disney knees anymore. Just Google it.
I'm not sure, but I'm willing to bet that I can't do them.
Now I want to
Oh,
know. I want a challenge.
oh no.
What's
Sorry,
a
Mike.
hover round now?
Is
A
that like
motorized scooter.
Yeah, it's like a little motorized guy.
Oh, those little two-wheelie things that people
Yeah.
are like wiping out on?
No, I'm pretty sure they're
do
like
that.
full 4-wheel or 3-wheel or whatever, like full like actual little
Oh,
vehicles.
okay. Oh, I was thinking about those little like two-wheeler things that I see people rolling around on LEDs
No.
and okay.
No, those are
Okay. I think
hoverboards.
Taguchi came out to one once. Oh, okay. Wait, what? Why would they call it almost the same thing?
I will show you what this is.
Oh my, you.
This is why the internet exists, guys. Google exists for this.
I need to look.
I want one with a basket, man.
You got to get a little bicycle horn on it too. Maybe some pinwheels stuck in the basket.
Honestly, that's
Oh my god!
yeah.
I imagine myself rolling around in one of those when I'm like 70 or 80 years old with the rest of my horde, just making the mean streets meaner in Edmonton.
The Disney knees are like making an X with
Making an X with my knees. Oh dear. I'm scared.
It's just like the way that it's like, I don't know. It's just
You
the way
don't know
that
what these knees have seen, my friend.
I
I made it through the 80s. I made it through MC Hammer.
I don't want to
And-
stand up and show you because I don't think that I have. But it's like your knees going like this and like that. So it's like in. And all the Disney girls do it. It's fine.
Oh, a dance, like the Disney dance where they move side to side by moving their knees in and out. I know that.
Kind of. So like Zendaya, Selena Gomez, Demi Lovato, Miley Cyrus, they all did it during those days.
So say that was my
Scooter,
jam.
Arlene
Hannah
Nelson.
Montana. Sunny with a Chance. That's my jam.
Yes, Sunny with a Chance. Speaking of Sunny with a Chance, Melball, tell me what you thought of this match.
That was a perfect segue. I love that. So I was really happy that I knew most of the people in this match because that doesn't happen much with Ring of Honor.
Mhm.
I love the little shimmy, Eddie Guerrero shimmy that Fuego sir did. So fun. Loved it. I love his little dances that he does in between his moves. It makes me very happy. There was a packaged tiger driver by Cran Guerrero. And I was like, oh my God, I forgot the last time I'd seen Cran Guerrero wrestle was like a Fantastica Mania tour a couple years ago when he was teaming with Ultimo Guerrero. And they would come into We Will Rock You. I love that. It was so fun. Rocky, kind of a dick. Tearing at the mask a bit throughout this. No honor. That was all I could think. Dishonor on you, dishonor on your cat, dishonor on your family, dishonor. And then he like started nailing the wrong people, just like thrust kicking his partners, Cran Guerrero and Euphoria. I was just like, way to go, God. You're the smallest guy in this match, and you're booting the wrong people. There was tilt-a-whirl backbreakers for everybody by Atlantis, and like they're not slow tilt-a-whirls. Like, he spins you over and plants you quicker than you can, like, react to what's happening. And he fed one to every single one, including Crangarero, who I think was the heftier one of the teams. I also struggled saying the guy with the cool Anubis mask's name.
Mm.
I don't Esfinhe, I
It's
think.
Finhay.
Yeah, tying Rocky up in some figure four thing and then like twisting around and bridging into a jackknife pin
Yeah,
thing.
that
Holy
was.
frackin'. One of the most
I
creative
audibly
pins I've ever
gasped at
seen.
that.
Yeah.
Audibly
Right?
gasped at that pin. I was like, that is so
I
pretty.
went, whoa. It was brilliant. And then it was so crisp. It was so good. Overall, I thought it was a great start to the show, great start for these guys. And like knowing that Atlantis is 62, you suddenly have even more respect for what these guys are capable of doing. Because holy shit, you're
Mhm,
absolutely right. For how old they are, they move super quickly. Except for
mhm.
Rocky, he's still pretty young.
Yep. Rocky Romero is same age as me.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
He's
So
younger than me, and I'm 40.
it's baby. I'm baby. I'm baby in this panel.
He's just a baby.
Yeah. Kyle, what did you think of this match?
A lot of fun stuff here. In a way, it kind of gave me the vibes that you get from like a New Japan show where you open with the New Japan dads, and you just kind of got like kind of
Yeah.
got the older guys out there who can still
Tenzan,
go,
Kojima,
and Makabe is even kind of in there sometimes, and Honma, and yeah,
Hanma. Yeah, 100%.
like
Yeah.
I got that kind of vibe because it's like, okay, these are all the older guys, but they can still go, they can still do their thing, and you mix in a couple of the
Mhm.
younger kids with it. I also really appreciated Rocky taking a second as Fuego danced after a move and kind of looking him up and down, because Rocky used to do that in his younger days with the Havana Pit Bulls. It was that very same thing. So it's, all right,
Mhm.
I see the next generation there. Someone will probably have to fact check me on this but I couldn't find any other proof or evidence of it. I want to say this might be the first time since 2021 where we had a father and son both wrestling on the same card for ROH.
Oh.
And in 2021, it would have been
I don't know.
La Bestia del Ring
Oh.
appearing with Roosh
Oh, yeah, with Roosh.
and Dragon Lee.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's the last time that I can think of off the top of my head. There might have been some
Yeah.
other odd ones here or there, but I can't think of any right away. So if somebody else can one up me in the chat, then knock yourselves out.
My brain doesn't work like that, Kyle. I'm so sorry. I go, oh, those two are related? Oh, those two are dating? I had no idea.
But yes, I audibly gasped at the pin com to finish. I didn't even know what to call it other than a figure four bridging pin. Like, that was absolutely wild. Very, very cool looking pin com. And got the win for our for the Technico team, as it were.
Technico team. I absolutely. So here's the thing. When I first start Ring of Honor, I'm still working. So on my first go around of the episode, I was more so checking in, watching those really cool spots that have been mentioned. But then when I watched it on my second, where I'm writing up my notes, I am taking a look at how Rocky Romero is placing these other guys that we generally don't know, right? You don't know much about unless you know the history. There is someone in the chat is going to say, well, I know all of them. I know all their social security numbers and I know every single match. Great for you. Great for you. that hasn't been my experience, but that doesn't make me any less of a wrestling fan or viewer in this space. But that's okay, because I didn't need to know any of their backstory, because commentary was filling in the parts where I'm like, okay, Atlantis, that's Atlantis Senior. That's the person that we've been hearing about with Atlantis Junior when he held the Ring of Honor Television Championship. This is what they've been talking about. So I recognize that there's that connection. I'm getting the connection from the Guerrero side. I'm getting the connection from the Fuego we've seen before. But I'm filling in the holes of the personalities of these like older guys, because let me tell you, I need a story for me to connect. If I'm not emotionally connected here, I'm just watching men in their underwear or men in with their pants on, their tights on, and they're doing the damn thing. And I'm like, cool, that's great. But I felt emotionally connected to this match, like right to the end. I felt every single thing that they were doing. And I think it's a requirement for all CMLL wrestlers to know how to do a suicida, so dive through the ropes up until they're 60, do the corkscrewy things. I don't know what they are, but then like that one move where I don't know what was happening, and he jumped on the second rope and he just flew. So like, is that a requirement for everyone in CMLL? Because it seems like every match that I've seen with a CMLL wrestler, they are going absolutely insane doing things with their bodies that I'm like, is this when you hand in your resume and you're like, I know how to do all of these moves? And they're like, you're hired.
I know how to almost nearly die every day of the week. Yeah.
STG, I know, because let me tell you, Tony Khan, you listening, you grumpy little man, and get my hands on you.
You know, I don't have to harass him anymore. We got English commentary back in New Japan.
I heard I heard that. This little emoji icon from Twitch, it gets me every single time, because I just want to squish it.
Right? It's like a bug. You know, it's like, whoa.
I just want to squish it. But this match also kind of pissed me off, because like, some people don't know what luchador rules is, or they're finding out by this match. This match did, I think, a really great job of kind of slowing that down. And I think that Ian and Caprice did a great job of kind of describing that, but knowing that like what that means compared to this, like, we don't need a full dictation, but it would have been nice for that to be interjected. But in the end, we do see Esfinge, yeah. Esfinge. I don't know how to read my own notes, apparently.
I wrote it down phonetically as I could hear them saying it on.
Yeah, that was probably smart. But he's the one who got Rocky Romero in a little bridged pin at the end, which I thought, what are you doing in this here? This here establishment doing a bridged pin on a Rocky Romero. Great opener. I think it was fantastic. If you want to see a bunch of old guys just having a bunch of fun and not moving like old guys, go watch this. Go turn it on right now. Okay. I made the mistake. Yes, or else. This is now the Honor Ramble or Else podcast. I made the mistake of not writing down any specific preludes to matches, so we're just going to jump right in. We have Lady Frost taking on La Catalina, who already has a match scheduled, right? So. Yes.
They announced that later in the show, we'll spoil that a little bit, that will take place next week. She's La Catalina will get a shot at Athena for the Ring of Honor Women's World Championship. The way Ian said it on commentary made it sound like Athena challenged Catalina.
Mm-hmm.
And presumably that this is based on Athena's continuing her world tour. She's dominated Japan. She's dominated Australia. She's setting her sights on Mexico. So, you know what? Sounds good. And
Sounds
Catalina's a rising name in CMLL. So,
if you are familiar with La Catalina, she was in NXT for a brief time. She was in the Women's World #1 Contender Battle Royal in 2020 and was eliminated by Shayna Baszler. So, little interesting little tidbit. I know we were talking for a while about Shayna Baszler because of the Mae Young Classic, which I'm going to shamelessly promo our show. Sorry that I missed it this last week, but Women's Classic Wrestling is on Mondays. Where we are talking about the Mae Young Classic. We're doing season 2. We're jumping in. You haven't missed it. You know why? Because Auntie had to deal with a personal matter this last Monday. So guess what? You're in for a treat because 1, 2, 3, 4 days from now, joining on the fun. You'll want to be there. I'm there. Astro Bizarro is there. And guess what? Melball Collins is also there. So you got a lot of fun. And plus, I made the background really cute and new. So you should come see it. It's really cute and cute. So you want to see cute?
Kawaii.
It is very kawaii. Come join us on Mondays. Same time as our show here, just on Mondays. You'll want to join in. But Kyle could come on our ladies podcast anytime. we know that Kyle loves ladies wrestling, women's wrestling.
I'm trying to figure out who or what that emoji is at the end. It's too small for my face.
My glasses are down here. Do you need them?
A Snow White mohawk.
But thank you, Bobby. I worked very hard on it. Thank you. It's inspired by the MySpaces and the Sailor Moons and Stardom. But Kyle, let's jump in since you are a ladies wrestling aficionado. You tell me about this match. What did you think about it?
I didn't have a lot of notes on this, despite it running 7:40. This was almost an 8-minute match. I did point out that these two did cross paths during Lady Frost's tour of CMLL almost a year ago. On back-to-back nights, they were on opposite sides of a tag match, and then the next night they were teaming together as part of a trios match. And these also tended to involve Tessa Blanchard, Stephanie Vacour. I was trying to remember who else was in it, but yeah. Catalina is a rising star in CMLL, as I said. We pointed out on commentary she draws some inspiration from Serena Deeb, so we have a little bit more of a grounded technical acumen versus Lady Frost's murder gymnastics, which
murder gymnastics.
I'm pretty sure that I caught that as part of the ring announcement that she was literally announced as a master of murder gymnastics or something.
That is incredible.
I laughed so hard when I heard that. I was like, oh, that's phenomenal.
But yeah, I felt like we saw Lady Frost take to the air a little bit more than we usually have to date. I saw a top rope springboard crossbody from her. I saw her hit a tornillo at one point off the top for a couple of 2 counts. So it's like, oh, she's stepping up her game. And Lady Frost strikes me. We talked earlier in the show about Layla Hirsch and her contract expiry. Lady Frost is somebody who can absolutely benefit from that departure. I'm not happy to see Layla go by any stretch of the imagination, but by the same token, there are also a lot of really talented women, some of whom have not really been getting the time of day in Ring of Honor. And this, like with anything else, a departure opens up the possibility for somebody new to step up. And Lady Frost can absolutely be dropped right into that TV title contention. Yes, I don't know how she doesn't have a shirt that says "Murder Gymnastics" on it. And again, we're just farming free ideas for TK and his merch team and his marketing booking team.
Merch team.
Pay us.
Teams. Kyle. Team where? There's no adulty adults there. It's just Tony being Tony. There's no team.
Is he just in his basement just beep, 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 beep?
I would assume so. It's my basement. Sitting there tippity tap tip tip in his bow shit. Waiting for his sugar daddy.
Does it occur to either of you that this might be why we're not getting paid?
I'm over here threatening Tony Khan.
Every time I watched a New Japan show and it didn't have English commentary, Tony Khan sure knew about it. I'm surprised I'm not blocked.
Oh, just because of Chris Charlton's absence?
Oh yeah.
And he's
Full time.
Did I not read that he's back for the 53rd anniversary show?
He is, which is why I've stopped hassling him and why I know I haven't been blocked yet.
No, getting back to the match though.
That she's a popsicle stick. Jose.
Ta-da!
See, they should hire.
There's
Jose.
another shirt.
I know, right? I think later on Athena also calls her the little popsicle or something like that.
She does, yeah, in her promo.
Catalina towards the end here hits almost
Millie.
The honor is optional. The ramble is essential.
Absolutely.
Oh.
But no, Catalina is, I think I have in my notes here, she had like an ocean cyclone suplex, it looked like, towards the end. She had the electric chair and straight back. She didn't bridge it, but
yeah.
And a great splash. So Lady La Catalina builds some momentum, as it were, going into her title shot next week. And that is TK booking in a nutshell. If you have an important match coming, you are bulletproof.
Yeah. It's bad when you have receipts for stuff like that, too, because some people, especially like hardcore fans, would argue, well, that's not the case. It's just smart booking. It's like, well, Harley Cameron is the most recent one. There's endless. The list is endless. But I love Lady Frost. She's been a favorite of mine for literal years. It breaks my heart every year that goes by where she's not utilized to the fullest of her capabilities. Her outfit, though, dang, the little one strappy thing showing off her whole back. I loved her gear. But for La Catalina, I've seen pictures of her. I've never seen a full match of hers. So this was my first time like seeing her and getting to experience her character. Her gear reminded me of like a fun race car driver outfit, and I loved it.
Oh,
like a Danica Patrick kind of thing. It's the kind of vibe I got with like the fun pink hair. Yeah, like a race car driver. Yeah, I really
the way
liked
you
it.
say race car driver, I don't think like NASCAR for some reason.
Oh.
I just think
What kind of race cars you thinking about there, Auntie?
I'm not thinking drag race. Sorry. I'm not thinking
that would be a very different. But they'd still be wearing the flammable suits, though. And they'll wear the kind of blockies, which is still kind of bright, because they would have to be wearing those flame-proof.
No,
suits
like
in case they're
well, several of them are flaming, but otherwise.
I was waiting for it. Oh, thank you.
Like that.
Oh,
Back to this match. There's Lady Frosty. Her murder gymnastics are so cool. I love
yeah.
her, like the cartwheels. I can't remember what the one thing that she did in the corner. They called it a snowball fight, I think.
Yeah, it was
But
just
like,
a it was just a cannon. It was just a cannonball, I think.
there was one point where she did it was like a handspring walkover or something. She literally just put her hands down and walked over herself and fed her a lariat in the corner. And I'm like, that's really cool. I used to be able to do that ish. Now my back is messed up and we're the same age. I'm the same age as Lady Frost. Damn it. There was a hip attack done by La Catalina, which I refer to as either the funky weapon or the Waka weapons, depending on who we're referring to. And this kind of became a regular thing for her, and I loved it because it was just her throwing her butt into everything, and I love that. Um, there was a big crossbody by Frost. There was one spot that there was only one point that kind of looked a little weird in this match, which
Mhm.
was the flying knee that La Catalina did. Looked like she didn't quite get the momentum going into it, and it looked like there was some muddling when it kind of happened, but she still moved herself in a way that made it look like it was still impactful, and Lady Frost sold it in a way that made it still make sense with what happened. So
Mhm.
I appreciated that. There was a big German by Frost right after when they were able to get to their feet. Um, the so the thing that I saw only one other time recently was when you pull the waistband into the buckle or the ropes to cause either like a snake eyes kind of thing on either like the top or second buckle. La Catalina did that to Frost and then just started pounding her face into it. I was like, yeah, this is a fight now. I like it. Um, then that spot mentioned by Kyle, the electric chair follow up. I loved this match. Loved seeing Lady Frost for years and years and years. So seeing her pop up on my screen, I was like, this is going to be a good night, and it was.
Yeah. I thought that both women are evenly sized. So there wasn't really an advantage. Their speed obviously does come into play. I did also put in my notes, by the way, that Lady Frost took to the sky more during this match than I think that I've seen her in most other competition matches. I don't know.
Yeah.
She was elevated for a lot of this match, and I think it's her way of meeting her competitor where she is, and there was more at stake in this match. At least it seemed like it, even though Athena already kind of yeah, I digress. We kind of already knew what the what the end result of this match was going to be, but I really did like how Lady Frost was on another level than she usually has been. So I do want to acknowledge that, because usually I'm very it's not that I'm harsh on Lady Frost. It's just I don't really connect with her in that way, because she's utilized as the wrestler who takes the fall, the one who, gets a little bit of shine, gets a little bit of shimmer during the match, and then is usually the one that takes the pinfall. Here during this match, it was so evenly paced that I was like, wait a minute. I thought La Catalina was going over. I'm thinking about it more and more, and Lady Frost really had her have to get this win. It was either me or you, and it felt very down to the wire, so to speak. It felt a little bit graspy for that end result. I thought that the way that Lady Frost battled through this match was really great. There were some of those little flubs that seemed to stunt and stall the momentum, but I really like that snowball fight. But it only went to a 2 count, which I'd love to see that get more momentum, get to a 3 count for Lady Frost to win. So it kind of feels like these wins over Lady Frost feels a little bit more victorious. But I really like this match. It was really great. I see what they're doing here. The ending for La Catalina, really great, because now I just want to see more from her. Going up for that big splash at the end and then getting the 3 count. It was enough for me to go, yeah, I'm excited to now see her against Athena, because now I'm thinking, how is Athena going to change up how she wrestles in order to match the similar speed? Is she going to do the Lady Frost route, where I know that Athena can be aerial? I know that she can jump off the top rope. I know that she can risk it all for that 3 count. But Athena plays dirty. And I'm not going to say anything more than that, because I am a minion. But it makes me excited, which I have not been excited about an Athena championship match since Billy lost. So I'm just finally, this is 2 months later, 3 months, almost 3 months later. Guys, I have been waiting. So I'm excited, but
if I had to guess, Athena just bludgeons her. No. If she's in the ring with a smaller, slightly faster opponent, she just overwhelms with physicality and just strikes and bludgeoning. That's how she tends to like to go.
I like it. I like it. Oh, well, we go into something even more bludgeoning. Get those blood pumping. It's the Beast Muertos. The Beast Muertos is back on our screens, and he's taking on Adam Priest. What is the match time on this one?
I had 3:16.
3:16? That's the bottom line. Because Beast Muertos said so.
Muertos 3:16 says, I just dropped you on your head.
Oh my God. Kyle, tell me about that. Okay, you like Beast Muertos, right? Like, you're a fan?
I'm a human being, so yes.
So tell me, what did you think of this very short match? Are we back in squash season? Is it fall already?
It is. It is squash season. Yeah, this was I had in my notes that Priest decides to fake out Muertos on the Code of Honor. I'm sure that will work out well for him. And it very much did. Yeah, Priest continues to get looks even in this enhancement kind of role. Somebody compared him to the old school, like the British Bulldogs, and now I feel like I kind of want to see him either teaming with or against Tommy Billington. Like, in some capacity, I'm now intrigued by that.
Okay. Everybody is imagining more squash season coming, or
but
it'll be a really
I'm
long
sitting
match.
here like, I know a local organization that hires both of those guys regularly.
Well, get
If
them
we
ready.
can get it on TV,
Yeah,
we might be able to convince them.
There you go. This was this is just Beast Muertos being dominant and being just doing hucking and just yeeting Priest around the ring, and eventually that pump handle pile driver that he uses to finish is just brutal. It is just nasty, and yeah, this went about how you'd expect. Good to see Beast Muertos back. Ian did point out that he's now, I believe, 8-1 in Ring of Honor sanctioned matches. So is that Ian just talking, or are we maybe setting Mortos up to be in title contention for one or the other of the singles titles?
Why not both? That seems to be a running thing in Ring of Honor.
I was gonna say he's already on AEW kind of regularly. Like it would make sense to just put a title on him and leave him there. Kind of seems to be the track record of what they do.
We have La Facción Ingobernable just kind of floating around. They're kind of on AEW, but they're not really doing much. Put LFI back in ROH. Roosh is already a former ROH world champion and would give some much needed star power to the upper card. Also, Roosh slaughtering Chris Jericho to take the title, I would also not complain about.
Oh,
yeah.
oh,
Anyone
my God.
take it from Jericho.
That would put me into Honor Ramble After Dark territory because I would blow my load for that. My God.
Sploosh.
Yeah, sploosh. Hello, Tony Khan. Read my lips. Do it now or else.
But did you?
This isn't OLE After Dark. I'm gonna keep quiet on that one.
Does Melball have anything to add about the Beast Mortos obliterating Adam Priest? Or
We actually got a few moves in that brief moment that we had together. I thought in the beginning it was surprisingly cute and adorable and just hilarious how Priest was able to sort of avoid Mortos using that smaller stature because everybody is significantly tinier next to Beast Mortos, so he was able to kind of bob and weave his way around him pretty effortlessly for a little bit. There was one point where, though, in his avoiding that, he got caught by a headbutt, so that kind of stopped. The chopping that Priest was doing to Mortos also just kind of fired him up. It didn't really do anything. It just kind of seemingly pissed him off. There's a torture rack backbreaker by Mortos on Priest, which looked just bad before he fed into that pile driver for the win. I understand it was a squash match. It just sucks because we've seen Priest before with Blake Christian, and I was like, they had a really, really good match. Now, obviously, because of the size of Priest, this was going to be a squash. It just would have been cool if we could have seen a little bit more, because Priest seems like a very competent technical wrestler. I would love to see him maybe in a bit longer of a match, like against another person like Blake Christian, because they had such a great match together. The styles worked and there was actual back and forth. I like the competition of the back and forth. Sometimes, like, the squashes bore me. It's like a ball shot. Yeah.
Because he's a Beast Mortos?
Yeah, I see you. I see what you're doing there. Yeah.
What's that?
Yeah. That's my only thing. I would have liked it to be longer. That's exactly where I was going, Millie.
To be fair, reading Auntie's lips, it's 50-50 how far we go into OLE After Dark.
Listen, if it's bird noises or whatever, we're going, okay? You're on the choo-choo train. Get on.
You knew what this was when you clicked onto this show.
We are not like the other Ring of Honor shows, except we're probably going to be the only Ring of Honor show.
We're not like most girls.
The only game in town. Watch us or else.
Or else, if you don't watch us, what else do I have to offer here? So last we saw Beast Mortos was the 100th episode, which was also a Squash McGee, right? That Lord guy.
Lord Crew.
Yes, Lord Crew. He spit him out like Jonah and the whale, right? That's like Pinocchio and the whale. Like,
I just watched a God of War walkthrough where a giant snake threw them up, so maybe that.
I think I played the first 3 games of that, and I don't remember a giant snake, but I could.
This
but
is
it's
the
been
reboot one?
Okay.
Yeah.
I was also willing to
they're in,
admit
like,
that it's
the
been a
Nord.
very long time, so
Yeah,
it's
that's
entirely
why I
possible I
watched
could have
it again.
forgotten.
It's like a cinematic movie that's like 12 hours long. It's phenomenal. And they get upchucked by a giant snake.
As you do.
that's something I never want to. That's why I don't live in a place like Florida.
We live where the air hurts our face.
Exactly.
She
It's
tells
fine.
us there's still 2 feet of snow in her backyard.
Oh God. Well, we don't have any snow, and we're having false spring. It went from being below freezing to today. It was in the mid 50s. So that's I don't know what Celsius is.
I never
We're gonna
learned
look it
the
up.
conversion.
I'm going to tell you right now at 12 degrees Celsius.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, and the sun was out. The sun was out. I made a little tickle
I
tackle,
miss
by the
sun.
way. If you follow me on TikTok _queer auntie, I made a little funny video where I said, "What the is that?" And I just pointed my camera at the sun. So I don't know what that is. We're all vitamin D deficient over here.
Sit there screaming at the sky. What are you?
Yeah, what is this? This foreign object.
She's a witch.
Oh, that's Marty Bell's other half? I'm learning more relationships. Yes. Let's go. Yes.
I feel like I knew that once, but I forgot. But I could be wrong, and I don't know. There's so much stuff that goes in and out on a daily basis that
I love it.
I don't even
also
know what
don't
I know.
Well,
I did not know about that either.
but I love a good Mortos choke slam. I love a good squasheroni. Beast Mortos can keep the mask on. If you know, you know. I just would I use a whole pass for that? I don't know. Yeah, probs. Would be fun.
Fair.
Yeah.
It's same. Keep the mask on.
I know. And I loved that the commentary was like, we've never seen his face. And it's like, you're right. I don't need to. But how come sometimes when those luchas, they take their masks off?
I know. But we're gonna. Well, we have history here because if you go back to early ROH, when Delirious first was a thing, and we claimed that no one had ever seen his face, and we claimed that he actually had the face of a lizard underneath his mask. That was an actual part of ROH lore for early Delirious, was that he actually had a lizard face under his mask.
He was the one who had no shoes, right?
Eventually, yes. He started. He was wearing shoes when he started. I don't remember when specifically that changed.
People who don't wear shoes when they wrestle make me so nervous.
I don't like it. Don't like it.
Who
Please
hurt
get
you?
dogs away from me. No. Mm-mm.
Who hurt you? Who
Get
hurt you that you need that
dogs
pain?
out of here.
Oh.
Mm-mm. You know why? Because I end up looking at what is their foot health now? Am I looking at their cuticles, their little nails? Is it yellow? Do they have corns on their feet? Because now
That's fair.
No, I don't want to see that. And you know what?
That's fair, because those mats are probably filthy, and if you're running around barefoot on them, who knows what's been on there?
But you know who does
Who's
wrestle
bled
without
on
shoes
there?
on?
Bro?
Ew, no. Blah, no.
Well, he
No,
doesn't.
boo.
I was just keeping my mouth shut because I'm just trying to figure out where this train's going. I'm just
Mike
holding on for the
Bailey
ride.
has really... Is it Mike Bailey?
Yeah, it's
Yes,
Mike Bailey.
Bailey.
He's coming to AEW.
He's got the cleanest feet.
He does have nice, clean feet. And you know that
He does.
Effie, my favorite wrestler, has put them in his mouth. And he wouldn't put them in his mouth if they were corned and
No.
yellow.
No.
Like
He just
Tony Nese's abs.
Yeah. Listen, you don't got to tell me twice.
Corn
You don't
and
got to
yellow.
tell me twice. Yeah.
Lick.
He purposely is putting his hands there because he knows.
Yeah.
That's where Auntie.
Now that I'm looking at them, they really do look like corn. I get it.
I know. They're very kernely. And I want to like. Sorry, this is not
Wash
OLE
things.
after dark.
That's a washboard. That's what you do.
Yeah, I want to clean my laundry off them.
Yeah.
Anyways, well, guys,
Come for the wrestling, stay for the thirst.
Yeah.
Parked over here.
From one squash to the next, we do go right into the infantry with Shane Taylor versus Jimmy Wild and Rosario Grillo, who's been here before. They've been here before.
Oh.
And it ended more or less the same way each time.
Yeah. I mean, at least they get paid.
I mean, but they're going to be spending it all on chiropractics given how this match went.
So we haven't seen the infantry since December. Maybe they had to take some time off. Not sure. They have not been on Ring of Honor television since
not
December.
Competing.
Not competing. Sorry. Should mention, meaning in competition. Because they've been doing other things. They've been on Collision.
Yeah, they've been in Shane Taylor and Lee Moriarty's corner. They've been doing that, but yeah.
What are we doing here? What are we doing here?
This seems like it was another very quick squash to reestablish the infantry, and they looked really good doing it. They looked really crisp. They were hitting everything. They were moving around really well. They were fast. They were violent.
Hello,
Hey,
Bobby.
We starts.
And Ophelia. Well, welcome and congratulations. You've hit the jackpot.
Woo! Jack?
Yes.
Heavy on the jackpot. No, I
Does your martini know that you're cheating on it with Jack?
Oh my gosh. This is a spicy as hell episode, y'all. It's not even like Valentine's, not even my birthday. This is fantastic.
But as I was looking up for this match, a per cage match, this was taped during their stop in Georgia in mid-January. This was taped like a month and a half ago.
I missed that. What? January?
According to the cage match listing, this was taped in Athens, Georgia, I believe on January 11th, it said.
This is a Frankenstein episode because we have Texas, we
They're from at
have
least 3 different tapings.
Phoenix, and Georgia. We love a good Frankenstein. I thought the crowd looked different, but here I am. With squash matches, they come and go, so you can't really analyze what the crowd is doing, what they're saying. I'm here to look at what the storyline is doing and not necessarily what's happening. The venue, it didn't even register to me. Like, this was a completely different crowd. The hell, man.
But yeah, boot camp and 2 to the head. That's it.
We're number one. We're number one. That's like
by default.
By default. 1 of 1. Never can lose.
Yeah.
Are we in first place, or are we in first place, or are we in last place?
Hey,
I guess that depends on the show.
The only people in last place.
Insert the both gif here. Both.
Yeah, the only people in last place are the people who aren't with us right now.
Losers.
And Tony Khan. Sorry.
Especially Tony Khan.
Sorry. Cheap shot. No, they just brought people in for one match and switched them out. More tickets equalize. This is so funny. Okay, continue, y'all. I'm having so much fun tonight.
Oh, yeah, okay. I realized that I didn't really know which member was who of the infantry, so this match was actually very helpful for me to figure out who was who. So there was a double back elbow by the infantry on that. Was it Grillo? I wrote down Drillo. I don't know why I got Drillo. That does not even sound.
Well, he got Drillo. It sounds like.
He sure got Drillo. That's why I thought the name was ironic when I was watching this. There was one point where Jimmy Wild was hitting the ropes and Sean Dean pulled out the feet and then fed him a thrust kick on the outside while Bravo hit him with like a dive on the outside. It looks pretty cool. I wrote there was a body roll chop by Bravo where he just kind of like rolled into the back chop. I was like, that's interesting. That's different, a little unnecessary and a waste of time, but still cool. Looked really nice. And then there was a forearm follow-up, which was significantly less funny. Where did I go from here? Oh, the double Uranagi backbaker, or like I recognize it as Yoshigoroshi, by the infantry on Wild, which I've never seen a double. I feel like I probably have and just didn't remember. But seeing the double team with it looked really, really cool. Secure your socks, Auntie.
I ain't wearing no socks tonight.
They are super secure.
I've got my dogs out. And I'm not going to show you because that's not the kind of show we have. Sorry.
It's nice. Well, it's nice to know that there is, in fact, a line at some point.
We have reached the OLE After Dark rules.
I'll talk about anything. The moment you want feet content for free,
you need to do some subscription things for us, and then we'll consider it.
Listen, if someone sends me on Venmo like $60 so I can go get a nice pedicure, I will send you feet content. But
that is very specific.
You send me a clean 100 so that I can get myself a little snack along the way, a little treat.
Or and then I will make a really nice place and have extra tip for them to make them extra nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Gel polish.
Ooh.
Foot rub.
A little massage, little wax.
Yeah, the wax. Yeah.
The wax. Yes.
Makes them so smooth. And now that we're off the rails entirely.
Hello.
So there's one point where Wild is desperately trying to make a tag to Grillo in the corner there, and the infantry are just like arms up, just like pulling the crab in front of him, like not letting him get to his partner. I thought very, very smart wrestling by the infantry in this. It showed them as one of the most competent, well-oiled machines in their tag division because they were working so effortlessly and making such intelligent short work of these two little guys. Bless their hearts for trying. They got a double DDT and then started to try to get to the corner there. Mr. Wild, sorry, got the double DDT. But Bravo ran out and actually pulled Grello off the apron, sent him into the barricade, not allowing him to make the pin, and thus setting up for that double curb stomp finish by the infantry. These guys are so smart. Like, I was like, I knew they were good, but like, this really showed off how just in ring smart they are and how well they work together in just picking somebody apart piece by piece by piece. They were almost like, what's the animal that does this? I think it was hyenas, where they'll kind of come in on one angle and come in on another. I know it's a weird description, but that's kind of what it's like without the feralness to a degree, because these guys are
That's
heels. So they're kind of mean, but it's an organized chaos that works really, really well for them and ends up picking them up wins. I'm impressed.
it might be a weird analogy, but that's not in the top 50 of weird things on this show tonight. So
I was just about to say that's the
It's
least
damn true.
weird thing that we said tonight.
It's just National
I-
Geographic. It's good.
that said, I would, since you've already burned MXM's tag title shot, I'm still very pro the Righteous winning those titles off of them, but that ship seems to have sailed as well.
Yeah.
I wouldn't
ship
hate
has
putting
left.
I wouldn't hate putting the titles on the infantry.
We've been saying this for.
Let them get a vicious heel run. I mean, they had their sort of babyface run when they took the titles off the Kingdom, and they had that whole deal. But put this is a new infantry. This is Shane Taylor Promotions. This is
Listen,
belt up all of STP. Let's go.
in Shane Taylor we trust. That, I mean, at this point, hello, we need to get the belts off the Sons of Texas immediately. And this last week, if you follow me on Twitter, I was going toes with this mother yeser, because this guy was trying to tell me that the Sons of Texas have been the best thing to happen to the Ring of Honor tag titles since 2020. I'm so sorry. And the basis of this conversation, I'm sorry to this person that I'm making fun of, even though he definitely blocked me right after. But speaking of hyenas, his whole basis of the conversation was that the Ring of Honor tag belts were fought and competed in another promotion. And on the pre-show of Wrestle Dynasty.
Oh.
Against House of Torture. That made them prestigious.
By
That deep valued them further.
By that token, wouldn't you argue that Adam Cole and MJF putting them on the line at All In London would have been more prestigious? Therefore,
because there's more people.
That said, the gentleman makes a very valid point that the ROH tag team titles have really gotten the short end of everything since FTR lost them.
Yeah, agreed.
Mhm.
However,
and I will contend that the Sons of Texas has been one of the best things to happen to Sammy Guevara.
That's valid.
because he was stuck in the Jericho vortex for how long?
Yeah.
Ding. Wait, this lets Sammy kind of get off, be his own man, do his own thing, even if he's still part of the tag team, and he's kind of getting some babyface. He's kind of getting some shine out of it. He's getting to do the high flying babyface thing, and it's working for him. And he badly needed this to get the hell away from Chris Jericho for a while and show who Sammy Guevara is, independent of Chris Jericho.
Mm-hmm.
But that said, I would be okay with the infantry murking them and taking the titles.
Maim them. Get them out of here. They don't even go here. I mean, Sammy
And
could
maybe
stay.
try it on the Ring of Honor show.
To be fair, they've shown up. To be fair, the Sons of Texas have shown up a hell of a lot more than Chris Jericho has. But that bar is
That's
literally
a
in hell.
blessing.
The bar is
Yeah.
further than hell. It's come out the other
Ophelia.
side.
Yeah, Ophelia in the chat actually sent me a quote today about how some people, the bar is so low that when you meet them, you also need to take a shovel, and that's valid. That's Chris Jericho. Dig your way to hell.
It's not even go away heat. It's just go away.
Yeah.
And
I feel like that's how he kind of has been for the last, like, at least 7 or 8 years. Like, I got the same vibe when he was doing his New Japan run. And he kept coming back and having the same frickin' match with the same, like, different people. Like, he had the same match with Tanahashi that he had with Naito, that he had with, like, it was one of those, okay, get out of here moments. And he did. He came here. I want to say I'm sorry about that, but now I don't have to deal with them. So
We
Not sorry.
kept getting pitched that Chris Jericho winning the world title was once again, just like last time, we kept getting pitched that it was going to be a ticket to a TV deal for ROH. That was the bill of goods we were sold with the first ROH world title run for him.
when he was
now
Ocho.
it's the same one we're getting sold now, and it doesn't appear to be happening either time. So we're still going to continue to exist in our little corner of Honor Club, which you should already have it if you're watching this post show. If you don't, you should absolutely get it. They just dropped Year 5, the DVD collection, on there today. There's all sorts of amazing stuff there. The Dragon Gate 6-man from the Milestone series, Nigel versus Bryan, all sorts of fantastic stuff on there that you should absolutely check out. All through the Year 1, Year 2, they've done these collections Year 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 now. They're all excellent and are well worth your time.
So if you've been paying attention, I've finished Year 1 and Year 2, which is just so fun to see because people who don't have hair now had hair then. But also little gems pop up and you're like, oh my God, I forgot this person was in Ring of Honor. Oh my God, how much I fucking hate Loki. I will stand on business on that. I'll stand on business. But it just, because how I found Ring of Honor in those early years was torrenting it off LimeWire.
Oh,
That's how I got
days.
these matches. And I traded CDs with my neighbor that we would just come upon. They would just appear at our because listen, I'm poor kid, right? So we would go to the library and we'd find these random ass DVDs, these wrestling, because at the time, all I wanted was to watch wrestling. So we're just borrowing these DVDs, ripping stuff off LimeWire. I'm pretty sure if I dig out my old hard drive, it's just ripped, torrented Nigel McGuinness matches because I had such a hard-on for that stupid spiky hair. There was something about that Nigel McGuinness that I wanted in a biblical way based on his wrestling alone, because it is so good. And that's what I want to bring to Ring of Honor week after week. I don't have to have banger matches after banger matches, but like edge me a little bit, you know, like get me. I'm so sorry. I don't know any other analogy. I just need my blood pumping a little bit more. That's what the infantry and Shane Taylor does to me, is that they get these squash matches in. And I love any time that you can put Carly Bravo and Sean Dean on my screen, because they are it. They are stars. They are waiting to be given that title opportunity once again and finally get some championship gold. They've been going week after week after week after week. Come on. Come on. Come on, give it to me, and then give Shane Taylor the main Ring of Honor championship. I don't ask for much.
He's been challenging for it for like a year and a half. He's been saying he wants the world title.
That promo a couple weeks ago, so good, so good. And these are the talent that you have just waiting for opportunities, and you're wasting it by having Chris Jericho as your Ring of Honor champion and your tag belts and your 6-man belts not here. Who are we building? What are we trying to get to? Because it's Nowhere USA, last stop. And I think that's the problem with Ring of Honor right now, is that the belts aren't visible. So what are we fighting for? We've got these promos and we've got these teams, and they're showing you everything they got week after week. And we are having some great matches. But what the hell are we fighting for? If not just for Auntie's heart, because, well,
that should always be the goal.
Well, if that's the case, it would be a longer match from Ortos.
Yes, longer match from Ortos, and Tony Nese would be winning matches and just pointing at his abs, and that's what I want. But I digress. I want the infantry to be the future of Ring of Honor, right? I think we've positioned them enough. Supercard of Honor, have the Sons of Texas lose everything. Goodbye. Sorry. Your ship has sailed. Tickets punched. Enjoy. Come back another time. Your welcome has been overstayed. The infantry need to take over. You want to convince me that they're heels? They need to completely annihilate and dominate and have people coming up for these championships and appear week after week. You can't do that, then what the hell are we doing? What are we doing? Return on investment.
I appreciate that you tied that long digression back to the infantry, because I kind of helped us steer down this wrong road, and like the pro that you are, you got us right back.
It's why we paid me the big bucks.
You're getting paid?
Yeah, we get paid for this. Remember, if you want us to get paid for this, like, share, subscribe, send it to all your friends, and say this crazy auntie is ranting about Ring of Honor again, because we like you and we want to see you back here.
Go tell Tony.
Yeah.
I want to see this.
Listen, get Tony, get me on the radar of Tony Khan. I could square up. Let's go.
Girl, I am 5'3" with 0 survival skills, and I'm pretty sure I could square up. It's not going to be hard.
Oh, listen. If CM Punk scared him.
I can square up too. It doesn't mean I'm going to stay vertical for very long.
Listen, I'm saying. Oh, listen, I'm saying. CM Punk scared him. So
I don't know. I feel like I'd be scared of CM Punk too if I wasn't on his good side.
well, he is the cult of personality.
He is.
Speaking of cults of personality, we have a departing Fuego del Sol. This is Fuego del Sol's last match in Ring of Honor versus Blake Christian. Now, Melball, I know that this is kind of your lead into Blake Christian. Tell me the match.
I love seeing Blake Christian. I love seeing him. He's a little rainbow of happiness because I know he's gonna wreck shit.
Yeah.
I love that he did
Rainbow of-
a jump start. I love that he was doing the shaking his hips as he's doing stuff. I was like, that's so funny. He's being such a dick. He really does pander to the crowd a lot, and I love it.
Mhm.
There was one point where on the outside, Fuego avoided a backflip forearm or elbow that I think Blake Christian was going for and ended up following with his own backflip elbow. There was one point where Fuego went for the rope walk and Christian pulled him off, and I'm like, that's so mean. Because you know that's what we want to see. We want to see those signature moves. Why are you denying us the opportunity? He did eventually get it, but it was still really nice cheap heat. There was I wrote a Lope 619 by Christian to avoid a incoming Fuego, and then he tosses him to the outside before hitting a tope con hilo. I love the little random creativity things because he took like a 619, which is pretty standard, and turned it into something cutesy and not even a move. It's an avoidance where he just ducked down and took out the knees. There was a really cool enziguri by Fuego after he backflips off of Christian. I think what Fuego was going for was an around the world something, but Christian ends up rolling him up and actually puts his feet on the ropes to pin, but the ref Fuego both kicked out and the ref did see, which is good because it was literally right in front of the freaking ref. You should have been looking right at it, my dude. Normal people aren't just angled. His core isn't that good anyway. There was a springboard DDT by Fuego for 2. The Spanish fly, which I think he calls a C4, by Christian, and then the banana choke, middle lock variation choke for Christian for that win. I love that middle lock, or sorry, banana choke. I love the banana choke. It looks so funny because it's named so funny. Sorry, I love the name
Vanilla
is
Choke
funny.
Zero.
Yeah, Vanilla Choke
Right?
Zero.
Like so good, so good. I had a lot of fun with this match, and it makes me sad because I thought he was going to be in town tomorrow, and he's not. The baby. But yeah, I love seeing Christian. I love seeing him on my screen. I love the attitude that he's gotten. Um, and I love that it's like not really like full on antagonistic heel. It's almost like subtle that he's doing it in a very non-subtle way. Does that even begin to make sense? Because he's not outright getting in people's faces and screaming at them like some people do. But he's just subtly like, haha, you like that? You mad, bro? Is kind of feels what the attitude is. And I kind of dig it. It definitely is making him more popular, I think, with the ROH crowd.
The right from the get-go, the first note that I have is, reads that he is ramping up the dickhead factor because he now has a vanilla baby robe that he comes to the ring with, and
It looks
I love
silly
it.
and everything.
It's just such a subtle little nod of just being an absolute full of yourself jerk, and it's absolutely wonderful. Um, yeah, and Fuego is a guy that the audience is always going to love, so it makes Blake's job very easy to just do dastardly things to him, and the crowd will hate you even more than they already do. I had a number of the spots and moments, Melball, that you had. I specifically wanted to mention that Fuego was able to hit that backflip DDT. That was from the first time I saw it was Rey Mysterio hitting it at Halloween Havoc 97 against Eddie Guerrero in that famous match. That was a really, really clean one. This one was slightly less clean than that, but still excellent. But it was that exact same style. That's just such a ridiculous and amazing move every time I see it. Just the precision and the skill is just so wild to me. But yeah, Blake Christian picks up the win with Vanilla Choke Zero. Great name for a and I love that it seems like we're having Blake continue to hang around. Like this is good. Hopefully we're going to put him in the title picture soon. He is an excellent. He'd be an excellent choice for a TV title match. I can think of probably a half dozen people right now that I would like to see face Commander for the TV title. You could do weekly challenges for a while and just let Commander go out and have bangers week in, week out.
Yes.
15-minute time limit.
More than any other champion on this company.
Like, it wouldn't be hard. And you could tell radically different stories each time. You could put Commander in there with Beast Mortos for a TV title match, and have Commander fighting for his life. You could have him trying to outsmart and outquick Blake Christian. You could have him none of these things are hard. You just have to do them.
None of these things are hard. Just do them. Absolutely. Absolutely. I love this match. And I love Blake Christian being this under the radar, slick little punk ass bitch for what I'm saying. We're almost at, an hour and 45 minutes. And I'm saying punk ass bitch. I absolutely love this. The match started with Blake Christian attacking Fuego del Sol before the bell starts. That's the tone that I want for every single Blake Christian match. I need him to be a stupid little freaking heel, little punk, because this is what Aaron Solo's trying to be, right? This little gets under your skin, the itch you can't scratch, can't get rid of this dumb loser, but he's not losing. He's not. And he's good. He's good at the wrestling. And he's good at what he does, and he looks good doing it, and you hate him. But man, it's a lovable little punk, But Blake Christian does a really good job of making me hate him. And I don't want to hate him because he just is so cherub, so baby to me. But I love it.
Just a baby.
Yeah, he's just a baby. I love Blake Christian's work outside of the ring as well as inside of the ring, because I think a good heel can do both and make it look worthwhile. But this crowd was so into Fuego del Sol. I mean, I love Fuego. We mutually follow each other, and he'll like a couple things in my stuff, and I just get the little giggles because he's so cool, and I absolutely adore him. But coming to this, knowing that Blake Christian is who he is, I really love this match. Fuego del Sol was trying to get the upper hand the entire time. Blake Christian came in with a little cocky little attitude and answered him every step of the way. Blow after blow after blow. This was a great match. There was stuff on the outside, stuff up above, stuff inside the ring. There's something here for everybody. Come on. It's a Blake Christian match. But yeah, that Vanilla Choke 0. Mama, sign me up for that. Come on. Wreck me.
It would certainly fix
Jesus.
my back.
It would fix my back. It would fix my my hip flexor. Come on. I think it would be fantastic. But Blake Christian gets his 6th win in Ring of Honor. What do we think? What do we think Blake Christian's agenda is? Just doing this to everybody?
My assumption is TV title. He went really deep into the survival of the fittest match.
Mm-hmm.
That feels like end game for Blake.
Okay.
I'd have to agree. I want to see him start there. I always like seeing people start at the lower titles and work their way up to bigger ones if they qualify for them.
Mm.
But yeah, you know how I feel about Christian. I like Christian. He needs all of the belts. All of the belts.
Well, we go into another match. There is a backstage segment, by the way.
We did get a quick interview with Athena.
Mm-hmm.
Athena cutting. So I was chopping onions during this time because I was making, or things happen. It's fine. And I just hear Athena, and you just immediately drop everything you're doing, right?
Mm-hmm.
You drop everything you're doing, hearing her call everyone hussies. That's all I need. But Athena's out here cutting a promo on La Catalina. She's tired of these bitches coming in her show, trying to take her title, which frankly, I mean, with how long she's held that title, I'd be tired of people trying to come take my freaking title all the time. So Athena is not going to be nice. And it's everything that we expect for next week. Are you guys excited for that match?
Yeah.
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 There was one line in that promo that made me nearly choke on the snack I was eating, which is when she's like talking about how Catalina didn't even show her the respect of coming to say hello to her when she arrived at the show. And she was like, you could have at least come up to me and been like, hey, Athena, ¿cómo estás? And I would have been like, oh, ¿cómo estás? And then walked away because I don't care. And I was like, that is the energy I need for the rest of this year.
Mm-hmm.
I love that line. Like, just so good. This was a phenomenal promo. I love me a good promo because where I'm from, I don't get a lot of them. And when I get them, I get excited. And you'll see them on my stories. But this was the spiciest fire promo I've seen this year. And I'm saying that having seen a lot of Gabe Kidd promos, and that guy knows how to cut a fracking promo.
Gabe Kidd. I hate him because of Eddie Kingston, and I'm allowed.
It's
I'm
fair.
allowed.
It's fair.
I'm allowed.
He's been posting some interesting things randomly.
Oh, I don't follow him, so.
Oh, you should. It's interesting. And it's a little confusing right now, too. It's interesting the things he's posting. Highly recommend you check it out. You're immediately sus. I get it.
Well, I'm always sus.
Follow Eddie. Follow Eddie, not Gabe.
Yeah, I only follow Eddie Kingston. My one follow. That's the only thing. If I have no more followers, it's because Eddie. No, he doesn't follow me. That doesn't make any sense here. Anyways,
Yeah.
Gravity's back on our screen, bringing us back down to earth versus the Dark Panther. Kyle, tell us about this match.
Well, it's been almost a year. It's been a little over a year since the last time Gravity was seen in ROH. So it's kind of it's been fun to see him back. To my knowledge, there was not an injury. He just was working smaller promotions in Mexico, a couple of smaller lucha-based promotions out of Texas. He just wasn't booked, which felt like a weird choice given how hard it felt like Gravity was getting pushed in early 2024. But you know, that is what it is. Once again, Dark Panther does have a title shot in hand coming up against Commander from one of the tapings down in the Southwest here over the last couple of weeks. So as soon as you know that Dark Panther has a title shot coming, the ending is immediately telegraphed.
Telegraphed?
Yeah.
That was an old form of communication.
Like the little, is that like the one with the little paper? The little.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or is that the Morse code one?
I mean, that's technically both, I guess.
Yeah.
Beep, 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 beep.
Yeah.
That's
This is-
That's not what I was doing. Oh, Paul.
This is apparently when you can tell that I grew up listening to Gorilla Monsoon call wrestling, because I still drop like references and concepts and things that were timely in the early to mid 1980s.
1800s. I don't know anything that's happening right now.
I loved we've seen so many people mess around with the code of honor and kick it away or flip somebody off or this or that, and Dark Panther took it in a completely different direction, walking right through the handshake, past the hand, and just instantly like grabbing a waist lock and hitting a couple mat returns. And like this was not an I'm gonna play mental games with you. It was not I'm gonna try to intimidate you. It's I'm just gonna go start beating your ass like right away. I'm not gonna pause for any handshake. We're just gonna go, and which was cool to see. I did love the when he hit the rewind low tiger feint kick on that you saw earlier, that 619 earlier, where he sort of started to hit it and then stopped and came back through around, and all I could think was the amount of upper body or core strength that it must take to do that is wild. And I loved Gravity's slingshot into the German suplex for a 2 count. That was a fun one. Panther luring Gravity into a striking match. Was able to counter an overhand chop into the Fujiwara armbar. And it was right around that time that I think we also heard Ian talking on commentary about Commander's title potentially being in danger to this guy. Because Commander is very straight ahead. I'm going to dive at you. I'm going to charge at you. I'm going to come at you. And Panther is a guy that seems to have the answers for a lot of those types of offensive situations, and just little things like that on commentary, setting up, okay, this is what you can expect going into next week. And this is why you should be excited, because I'm going to tell you why the title could be in danger, and you need to tune in because you could see a title change. Just very, very basic stuff, but integral to telling the story. Panther with a couple of tope suicidas, because again, everybody from CMLL has to be able to do a tope suicida.
Exactly. That's a requirement.
He missed the elbow drop. Gravity goes for a top rope splash. He misses as well. hits a second rope low drop kick for the win, which was a really interesting way to finish. That sort of a knockout blow from the second rope kind of things. All right, this was a fun little match. Good to see Gravity back, and sort of to establish Dark Panther in addition to the trios match the other week, or however many guys was in it. I want to say it was a trios match. I could have been mistaken. A multi-man. It was some kind of a multi-man. And to establish him in a singles capacity before this TV title match with Commander. Mm-hmm. So good job all around.
Melball, what did you think of seeing Gravity for the first time here in Ring of Honor?
I'm not gonna lie, I was underwhelmed. This was actually my least favorite match on the show. I felt like, I liked the waist lock that Kyle mentioned at the start, but right out the gate from there, they seemed to be struggling a lot. Like, struggling to figure out what they were going for. There was kind of like this almost like struggle of tug of war of hands at a lot of points. I didn't feel like these two they were struggling for it the whole match, but I never felt like they quite got on the same page. They were reading the same book, just not getting on the same page. That being said, they still did a lot of really cool stuff, a lot of which Kyle did mention already. The one point that I noticed that there was a point where Gravity did a scoop slam to Panther. And it was that point I noticed, I'm like, did he get his bell rung? He kind of looked like he was staggering a little bit and sucking wind a little bit, a little tired. And the ending came pretty quickly after there. I also thought the end was a little odd. I called the finish a hippity hop drop kick because of the boinky boinky. I should have went with boinky boinky. That's usually what I call it.
Boinky boinky. OLE after dark is
no. Well, I mean, watch Chop Talk. It gets pretty outlandish on there. I usually say the amount of boinkies that happen per rope. So there was 2 hops, so a boinky boinky, 2 boinkies.
So a plop equals a boinky?
Yeah.
Oh, are we doing SAT questions here?
I don't know. I would fail.
Yeah, I would fail too. No thanks.
But yeah, like, it wasn't a bad match by any means. It just, in comparison to everything that came before and what came after, it was just okay for me.
Interessante. Well, I love having Gravity back. It fits the tone of the show, considering how Frankenstein this episode was put together, right? But we did see Dark Panther last week teaming up with Fuego and Sammy in that losing effort, as Kyle mentioned, for that 6-man event, so to speak, event match. I don't think much of it, but I guess I could say I was holding space for Gravity here because it was defying everything. Everything that was going on in this match. You have this big ass man, this Dark Panther, who's also related to the Blue Panther. The lineage is apparent with what they are doing. Of course, my CMLL joke, Kyle's already said, where the requirements, did we get all the requirements of being a CMLL wrestler in this? Abso-freaking-lutely. But did Gravity also do this weird corkscrew whatever the fuck in this match that I went, what the? Oh my God. Getting me to have an emotional reaction to this match? Yeah. Was it fine? Yeah. Did it elevate any sort of storyline in my program? No. But it's a fine thing right before your main event that got me to go, oh my God, now I want to see both of these wrestlers again real soon, because maybe that's where we'll lead them in the future. Not sure, but
Oh, there was one other thing that I did have a note of on commentary that I thought was an interesting addition. That Ian Caprice point out who Gravity beat in his ROH debut. It was Commander. And
bitch.
Also heard that.
And that
Bitch, I missed that.
And they're going, okay, is Gravity feeling a little bit passed over now? Because, hey, I beat Commander back in my debut, and all of a sudden, this guy's now just waltzing in, getting a title shot out of it, and that's then any claim that Gravity might have to a win because he beat Commander back in the day kind of goes out the window when he went out and got smoked by Dark Panther, but still an interesting way to look at it, and wonder if that's something that comes back.
I remember hearing that and being like, what? Really?
Yeah. What do you mean?
How?
It was like a year and a half ago.
Is time real? I don't think so.
There are days.
We just need that little Harry Potter thing.
Boo, Harry Potter, boo.
Oh, don't let Andre hear you. He's a proud Hufflepuff.
Well, it's not here now.
He's not it.
But you know where we are? The main event. Woo! Yeah. In our main event, we have Atlantis Jr., Mascara Dorada, Templario versus Magnus Soprano Jr. and Volador Jr.
Volador.
Listen, I've been doing my Duolingo.
You have been. It's impressive.
Thank you very much.
I was going to say, when you said importante earlier, I was like,
importante. Yes.
Someone's been listening to their push notifications.
Astrid, you hear? You're bullying me? I actually did them first thing this morning, and I already did my Duolingo, so get on my level. Anyways, Melball, what did you think of this main event?
I was super happy because Volador Jr. is one of my favorite luchas of all time. I love watching him wrestle because he is so effortless. It takes so little for him to do so much. It's crazy the power that he has. And then the luxury of lucha, Soprano Jr., one of my personal favorites. Yeah, I love seeing him, but man, is he really healing it up a lot and weirdly in a way I've never seen. And they kept mentioning it on commentary throughout this match, how much of a fracking dick he is. And I love it. I loved also the one-off political statement that they made at the beginning of this match when Volador and Magnus were wearing American flag gear, and Riccaboni was like, maybe facetiously, and Sterling was like, no. No, but they looked amazing. I did like the design of the gear. They all looked really, really great. And what I like the most about lucha is how much you can change the character ever so slightly with just a different color or a change to the mask, an addition of a tassel, the complete removal of hair or a mask. Like Volador, I believe, used to wrestle with a mask before becoming who he is now. And I believe he's lost his hair a couple times. Once because of Matt Taven.
Yeah, weren't he and Taven on the losing end of a tag with that?
Because Taven threw the match.
Yeah. Anyway, it was
grown back.
God, that was a ways back, and that was shortly after that was when Taven started debuting his mohawk look, which was not a good look for him. No,
It was not a vibe.
it
No.
didn't work.
Um,
He tried to go full Taxi Driver with it and just kind of give him sort of a kind of just didn't work.
yeah, it was not a vibe. But Volador's still mad about it for a good long time, which is fair. Um, Templario, he's one that has finally grown on me. I've been watching him a long time. Wasn't a fan for a very, very long time, but he seems to have got he was sloppy for a little bit there. He's really kind of polished his stuff, as this match is evidence of. He did very, very good, very, very crisp with his movements and moves. There was an around the world and back again arm drag, is what I called it, by Templario, where he went to do the around the world thing, but then stopped, came back, did the arm drag, looked really cool. There was the triple tope suicidas, which again, as mentioned, all CMLL people do, by Team Atlantis. That's what I'm calling them, on Team Volador. There was one point where Magnus whipped Templario into the corner, and I was like, you literally had an entire ring. Why did you throw your opponent into his corner? Why'd you put him there? Of all the corners, that seems like the last place you'd want to put him. But moving on from there, there was one point where I wrote, okay, so I just wrote Dorada bouncing off of everything.
Yeah.
He was just Tigger in this mount. She was bouncy, 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 fun, 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 all over the place. Soberano, there was one point where Dorada was doing his stuff and jumping all out inside of the ring, and as you're watching Dorada sell that he just did something, you see Soberano come out of the back and just yeet Templario into a barricade. I thought that was just a really hilarious visual when the match was happening. The crowd chanting Pero to Team Volador made me laugh, because that was the second time I heard that in the night. Gotta love it when you're getting some bilingual chants from the crowd.
Mhm.
There was one point where Soberano tricked Atlantis Jr. by staying on his knees when Atlantis came in, and Atlantis, being a man of honor, wouldn't hit a man on his knees. And it ended up not working out for him, because he ended up getting triple teamed and getting a triple big boot from Team Volador? Don't know what I was trying to say.
Volador?
I don't know who Volador is, but I guess he'll make appearance at some point.
Mhm.
There was the dingle dangle leg drop by Magnus and Soberano on Templario
I'm
that
sorry.
gave me
Every
life.
time you say dingle dangle, I just.
It's that, again, I am simple. I'm ADHD. I forget words. So
Mhm.
usually the first thing that comes to my mind is when you're hanging someone between your legs. It it looks sus. It's a dingle dangle. It's a tingly dangly. And then again, followed up with the leg drop, just made it so much more devastating because you have no limbs to protect your face. Um, there was a pop-up gut shot by Volador and Soberano Jr. I didn't write down to who, though. That probably would have helped that note a lot more.
If it's what I'm thinking of, I had that too, and I think it was Mascara Dorada. Where
Sure.
he comes in off the ropes, and Soberano elevates him up into a kick as he comes down. Yeah, that was Mascara
Yeah.
Dorada.
Okay, perfect.
The
Thank
American
you.
Wolves used to use that back in the day. They called it the alarm clock. It was a very similar kind of move. So yeah, I was instantly my brain just
Interesting.
went to that. So
It's an interesting name for that too. Tilt-a-whirl backbreaker on Volador and a double drop kick to him by Atlantis Jr. There was, I think Templario was going for a superplex on Volador, but he managed to reverse it mid superplex into a Rana, which was fracking mental. Wheelbarrow superplex by Templario on Soberano looked great. There was what I called a pop-up flipping powerbomb by Templario on Soberano Jr. Flosberry flopped by why do I keep saying Soberana? Soberano Jr. after Arana. What the hell? Brain not braining today. And then there was a float over power slam by Volador as well. This was just go, 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 and I loved it. This was the perfect lucha match for me because it wasn't too fast. They slowed it down ever so slightly. I felt like they were maybe going 80% instead of 100 for speed, which I appreciated because then I could see everything.
Yeah, I had a lot of those same notes. I loved watching Soberano Jr. in this. I loved watching him heal it up and just push that envelope. While at the same time, Mascara Dorada just is springboarding off of and into everything. Like it. Those two were probably my MVPs of this match. Just a dumb early thing that is just silly, but it's something that I always love to see, and I think it's funny. I the way I phrased it in my write up for was Sobrano gets in some top notch begging off early on in this, where he's on his knees and like kissing the feet of Atlantis Jr. and he does the bit with like the one trail leg like up in the air while he does it because he's like just there's begging off and then there's begging off. Like that's going to that extreme is always going to get bonus points from me. A lot of the stuff is that you covered is very wild. Again, I think Ian Caprice also mentioned again the nature of lucha tags. So I think that was mentioned again here. The idea that tags can happen but are not strictly necessary. And if you're a longtime watcher of ROH like I am, it's something that they have had before when they had the Dragon Gate contingent in periodically during WrestleMania weekend shows in years past. The Dragon Gate 6-man they would have every year was usually contested under Lucha rules because I believe that's how Dragon Gate does it or did at that point. I don't know if they still do or not. I don't keep up with Dragon Gate, unfortunately. There's only so many hours in the day.
You're telling me.
Yeah.
I don't follow it all, so
I loved that. Also, that Dragon Gate 6-man, the first one that was sort of the template for all of that that they would do moving forward, that is on the Year 5 collection that just got uploaded to Honor Club. It's fantastic. I highly recommend it. It was one of those matches during the early run where commentary just stopped for the last 5 to 10 minutes of the match. It just stopped because commentary was always recorded after the fact for them. And I don't know what caused them to decide to do this, but they decided, and they've done this with some of the matches periodically, where they would say the action and the crowd speaks for itself. And commentary would sign off, and everything for the last little bit of the match was just the gnat sound in the ring and the crowd. And that was it. And it's kind of fantastic every time they do it. But getting back to this one, I also saw that wheelbarrow suplex, and it was gorgeous. And like, oh my goodness. And I was utterly speechless at that back body drop into a sit-out power bomb. Like
how
I didn't get good grade. I didn't get good grades in physics, and I never studied kinesiology. So none of this makes sense. That shouldn't be a thing that can happen.
Lucha,
but here we are.
Lucha.
But yeah, we got the finish. You know, everybody's diving to the floor. Insanity, bodies flying everywhere. Atlantis is left alone with Magnus. He's able to hit his frog splash. We get the win. I had this at just a hair under 13 minutes, 12:53, and it was just bonkers, wall to wall. just fantastic stuff, and an amazing introduction to lucha libre. If as a North American audience, you or an American audience, you might not have seen it or be as familiar with it. Just top-notch stuff.
All this match did was made me go, wow, maybe I should watch CMLL. Because everything that they brought, I mean, there's not much I can say in this conversation because y'all have said it. And my notes basically were a combination of, I just really want to see more of this match. I just really want to see more of this type of wrestling. And back in the bellies of Ring of Honor is lucha, right? A lot of those early matches, very underground, very somebody's gym at a sports, whatever, was just, it was just lucha. And that's what this match did. They checked all of the boxes, right? Everything that they have to do to be in a CMLL lucha match. But my God, Atlantis Jr., I do have to say, remember how when he was TV champion, I shit talked to him all the time because he would just appear and then not appear, and then appear and not appear, and the storylines weren't consistent. But every match, I always said, this is such a great match. I want to see more of this. I want to see more of this. Ring of Honor can be the brutal, bloody ladder matches that we know and love. It can be the fantastic women's wrestling, the whatever the hell in between. But we cannot forget that lucha is part of Ring of Honor and Ring of Honor history. Not every match is going to be a pure champion rules match that gets my blood pumping in ways that other things can't. But man, lucha is part of the integral part, like DNA of Ring of Honor. And this match was just fun. It was fun. And you don't even need to know who any of these guys are to know who is the heel, who is the face, which part of the crowd are we booing, yaying, all the things. It's right there. And that's what I love about lucha tag matches, is that that's the story that's being told. We don't need to communicate with words. We just are communicating with the story that they're telling with their bodies. And by God, some of these top flying, whatever the hells, I just don't understand how you can physically rotate your body this way while also spinning this way. Don't get it. It doesn't make sense to me. All I can conceive is that I was not paying attention in physics class that day. Must have been talking to the cutie next to me, because what in the fuck hell? And that's what I love about lucha wrestling. Go watch this match. Go watch the show. Clearly, very different show than what we've been watching week after week after week. But if this is an indication of how we're leading up to Supercard, yes.
You made an excellent point about lucha being in ROH's DNA. Let's not forget the semi-main event of the Era of Honor Begins, the first ever ROH show in February of 2002, was Eddie Guerrero versus Super Crazy.
I just watched that. I just watched it. And I'm going, holy fuck, this is how we started Ring of Honor. And Super Crazy is so baby looking. It's so funny to watch because I'm like, oh.
It was 2002.
It's baby.
It was literally 23 years ago.
Okay.
And now I feel old.
Okay.
So do I. But no, it's a valid point. Super Crazy and Eddie Guerrero were the semi-main on, and arguably the two biggest stars on the first ROH show.
Mm-hmm.
They brought Dragon Gate in when they were doing lucha-inspired action in 2005 and 2006. They partnered with Chikara, who say what you will about Mike Quackenbush and everything that he's said and done and speak out and so on and so forth, but Chikara was always super lucha based in everything that they did. Like this is, and their partnership with CMLL has gone back 8-9 years at least. Like this is who ROH has always been, and it's very cool to see them continue to lean into that in the TK era.
Mm-hmm. How long was this match there, Kyle?
I had 12:53.
Wow.
So faster. Like it just from start to finish, it was just the same energy. It was crazy.
Mm-hmm. Well,
it's very appropriate given everything else that we've had tonight. That of the 1:10:57 the episode ran, total match time was 49:22. The reason that is appropriate given tonight's show is that meant that the total match time was 69% of the episode.
That's good. It's good.
It's pretty nice.
Mm-hmm.
Average match time 7:03.
I mean, that's fine. That's fine with me.
Yeah.
That's fine.
I felt everything except for Mortos's match was appropriately lengthed.
Yeah.
That's my personal preference, though.
Yes, I would have liked that to have been longer and more competitive too, but
Noise.
Maybe once Adam Priest actually gets signed and becomes a little bit more of a thing, we can have a more competitive rematch.
Mm-hmm. We have to ask Millie in the chat who she's wanting to say noise.
It's because of 69%.
Oh, I gotcha. I'm on the same way. It's taken me a while to get there, but I get there eventually, Millie.
Noise.
All
in all, how did we feel about this episode? Yay, nay, boot, toot. What are we doing?
It was a fun episode. I wish we moved. Right now, I guess we aren't in a position to move things forward because we don't know what we're moving forwd towards. It's okay. I have 2 kids.
Millie, I was holding it in. I was holding it in.
Why?
Because
you haven't held anything else in all night long.
Because we're at 2 hours and 17 minutes. How are y'all still here?
I am a little hungry.
Oh, my dear heavens.
This was fun. It was a good show. It was enjoyable wrestling. I enjoyed the little Lucha Libre spotlight. I wish we were moving something forward, but until we actually have confirmation that Supercard of Honor is happening, we don't have anything to move forward to. So I guess this is fine. In the meantime, if we're going to have bonkers Lucha Libre showcases, cool. Let's keep doing that then.
I'm into it. Bonkers.
I love that.
I have that effect on people. It's okay.
Listen, it's late. I get it. Yeah, fun show. More lucha. Thanks so much. Amen.
Lucha, 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 lucha.
All right, Melball, tell us where the fine people can find you.
If you're wanting to follow a Melball, you can follow me on the X thing at Collins Melball. You can follow me on everything. Missed half the sentence there. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Mastodon, Blue Sky at Melball Collins. You can also find me on my YouTube channel, Andre and Melball Wrestling Talk, where we talk about New Japan Wrestling, Stardom, Marigold, Noah, and all the local stuff happening in the Edmonton scene that we go to. And you can also catch me on here on Monday with Auntie Collins and the talented Astrid as we're talking about women's classic wrestling on the Mae Young Classic. Words are not a thing right now. I disconnected at some point in time. You can also find me on Friday. Not tomorrow Friday, but next Friday, 8 p.m. Mountain Time, Japanese Wrestling Update with Andre C., where we're going to talk all about the crazy, wacky news that's happening in Japan with professional wrestling. And that should be it. So I have a lot of stuff on the go. I mean, not compared to you, Auntie, but man, I'm busy.
No. All right, Kyle, where can we find you?
I wonder if there's any truth that we're going to rename it from Our Local Establishment to Our Local Auntie. Bobby,
Get
do you have
out.
any confirmation on that?
No confirmation of that. No. No.
Nay, sashay away.
Yeah.
If you actually want to follow me and hear more of my nonsense, follow me on Blue Sky at Kyle K. Sparks. Am on the X thing. I swear I'm only there until Blue Sky gets group chat functionality. Once that happens, I'm gone. But even still, I'm on X at Kyle K. Sparks. I'm on Blue Sky at Kyle K. Sparks. I'm here every Thursday night for Honor Ramble. I will not be here next Thursday. I might not be here next Thursday. I've got some family obligations to take care of. I'll try to make it back, but I can't guarantee that. If not, I know Auntie's going to have some amazing guests lined up, I'm sure.
Yeah, we have the return of our friend Samantha. Samantha's going to be here next week. Woo,
So
woo.
there you go. So maybe you can root for me to not be here, so you can just focus on the girlies.
It's Women of Honor next week, so
Exactly. Give me a
Isn't it the
follow
start
any of those
of
places.
Women's Month next month also?
In the United States, I'm not sure if that's a thing anymore.
God.
right.
But
I'm being Captain Bring Down. No, give me a follow on any of the places. I talk about all sorts of nonsense, talk wrestling. I'm here every Thursday talking on ROH. Love ROH, love all of the stuff. If you want to hear anything you want me to write about, research, talk about, let me know. We'll always love to talk wrestling. Love to talk ROH. And in the meantime, do all the liking, sharing, and subscribing things, and Auntie will tell you how to do that.
Hey, follow me. Hi, I'm your auntie. I go live Thursdays through Mondays. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 shows. 5 shows a week. That's insane. You can catch me here Thursdays. Here also Saturdays for the Mother Tucking post show with Jose on the air. We talk about RuPaul's Drag Race. So if you like wrestling, you would love RuPaul's Drag Race. Let me tell you, it's heating up. It's actually a competition right now. And you saw Jose in the chat. Jose is even spicier on Saturdays. So come join us for all the fun. That is noon Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern. Sundays, I'm over on Fightful Overbooked, where we talk about how wrestling made us cry with my co-host Kylie, the wonderful, the stunning, the gorgeous. Let me tell you, I was gearing up to set up, our show this last week. Kylie sent me a picture saying, I have water coming out of my sockets, so I think I shouldn't go live on the show. And I was like, yeah, that's probably wise. We should not have a show because you have water coming out of your sockets. They had a pipe burst in their wall. So, things were raining from the sky. There is a lot of things going on. I should probably check in with Kylie to see how they are doing. But all in all. And then this Monday, we are doing Women's Classic Wrestling, where we are talking about the first episode of season 2 of the Mayhem Classic. Don't worry, it's still on Peacock. So you go over there, you put in the search function Mayhem Classic, it pops up season 2, episode 1. We got a lot to talk about. I'm not sure if I'll have a show tomorrow for Collins on the Rocks happy hour. I got a lot of things going on. Just keep fighting. This week I didn't want to bring everyone down, but someone in our circle of people did pass away. And they passed away due to their addiction, which if I wanted to make a point on here to say, if you know someone who is suffering, if you know someone who needs help, there are resources out there. You can always reach out to me and I can always point you in those directions. I cannot save you. I cannot save anybody. I can only do what's right for myself. But I would be amiss if I did not mention our friend Sean and the impact that he has made on all of us. Gone way too soon. But I do love you guys, and I do really appreciate you sticking around, because we are silly and life is so much bigger than everything else. But you keep us sane, you keep us here, and if you keep showing up, we'll show up too. But hey, this is our local establishment. Hi, how are you? Like, share, subscribe, follow us on all social media so you know when we are going live. That little thing, that little video that plays, there's a show every day of the week, wrestling and non-wrestling things. We have so much entertainment going on this channel just for you. So please like, share, subscribe. We want to I can't remember the latest milestone, but we want to get more followers. So please go follow us there. Go follow us on Blue Sky while you're at it. And if you aren't on Blue Sky, get on Blue Sky, because it is fun over on Blue Sky. And I don't feel like weird trolls are going to come after me because I'm being myself. But with that said, happy wrestling, y'all. And make good choices. Love you all so much. Bye.